path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey. And just like that, we are live one more time. Guys, it's good to see you. We have 6 guys in the chat room. We appreciate you. It's good to be here another night. Now, I do have a special guest that you know. Oh, Javi's here. There you go. Good seeing you. You could be anywhere else, but you are here tonight.
Peace.
And we are grateful for that. As you just heard that rumbling voice, the PT is back in the house. Welcome. It's good to have you one more time. You are very essential to this work now.
Thank you, King. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to come back.
All right. Harvey, I see you in the comment. It's good seeing you here. We will be talking about testosterone tonight, friend or foe, or how to increase it and how to increase it naturally. You are at the right place. Thanks for being here. You could have been definitely not jerking off, but you could have been doing anything else. But you are here with us. So give us a few likes, guys. Likes, thumbs up, and comments. Somebody's already, I think we already have.
I have a question.
A question so far, you said. We have Harvey and hey, Quizzy. I think you have changed names. You used to be Quizzy. But we will be talking about testosterone, and we will take questions around testosterone, which makes sense, so that we get all the information that we need to get out to you guys today. So, Rock, I want to thank you one more time for being here with us tonight. This is your second stop, second interview. You are very essential to this work in the sense that I remember you were the first person that I talked to when I was building the studio. At the gym, I said, I'm building a YouTube studio and I'd love to interview you when I get it off the ground, when I get it set up and I start going live. I'd like to interview you. And you said yes. And you, in fact, were the first person I interviewed. And you introduced me to Harvey Cross. Shout out to Harvey Cross in the chat room. And Harvey has already been here twice. And now this is your second time. And my next guest next week, the young actor, also was referred to me by you. So I do have a special gratitude, to you for actually doing this. It probably wouldn't be as easy to find so many people to fill so many spots right when I started.
Well, it was my pleasure. When you told me about you in the studio, I said to myself, hey, I know some cats that this brother would definitely need to holler at. One of them was Harvey Cross, Chris Cross. Another one's nephew Mike. Both are men that's moving in positive directions, and I just think they have something special and intriguing to share.
Yeah, and in fact, Harvey has done his share twice, and it was a great show. Especially the last show was very engaging, very deep. Even beautiful comments still coming in for that show. So I want to say thank you once again, and definitely this is helping guys to move from mediocrity to excellence, as is my motto for this work, is sex energy transmutation, where we transmute our energy, our libido, the very essence of who we are as men. We take that, we package it into self-discipline, we put in the work, and then we watch our lives transform from mediocrity to excellence. So I say thank you to you, Rock, and I say thank you to Harvey and anybody else who's going to come, and especially my subscribers. Some of the guys are very faithful. They've always been here since day one. Thank you for being here. So we will be talking about testosterone. The reason I wanted to do this show was I did not, I did not fully come to agree. Well, I really began to think about testosterone. I probably was 38, so maybe 37. So that's about 3 years ago. And I feel like if I had gotten certain understanding before that, perhaps I could have capitalized on it before, or not just let it do the damage that it did to me in, chasing women and pornography and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I feel like not, even if a man is just looking to get girls, like for the youngsters, right?
Yes.
A good understanding of testosterone is necessary, and even much more for a guy who's looking into to get into his excellence, to looking into leveling up his life. An understanding of testosterone is necessary. So we have a great show coming up. It's heavy. I have a lot of questions for you, Rock, and go ahead.
I see a tough one right there.
Yeah,
Cross just put out there. I have to think about that one.
Okay, so so we'll get to that one. So, Rock, you are a personal trainer.
Yes.
A nutritionist.
Well, yes. I would say I know nutrition. I don't have a title that promotes it, but I understand nutrition and how it affects and promotes health on the body.
Okay. I call you a nutritionist.
Thank you, sir.
And a poet.
Yes, I have a way with words, so I know how to make them flow.
Yes. I have the first question that I have for you is, yes, what makes you qualified to speak on testosterone? Not that you need qualification, but more so, what work have you done that makes you so knowledgeable and qualified, therefore, to speak on testosterone?
Well, being a man of over 50 years of age, I understand that testosterone is the building block of males. It defines you to a certain degree. You naturally have your testosterone up until you're around about 30, 32, somewhere in that area. And if you're not doing certain things to keep your body up, your energy up, then you will begin to suffer. You will begin to lose focus on things. You begin to act a little different. And because your testosterone is off, and if that continues, you will start to lose your muscle. So what gives me the credibility is that I've been in body transition for well over 20 years. So I've seen bodies come up and improve the health that there was a demise at. In other words, I've had men come to me in their mid-30s, man, I'm tired, I can't, boom, boom, so forth and so on. We then say, okay, let's look at your diet. Okay, first of all, you got a crappy diet. Let's clean that diet up. Let's get you some greenery in your diet. Let's get some nutritional meats in your diet. Let's take out the sugar in your diet. Okay, we do that. Okay, now let's look at your workouts. You're doing a workout that's not designed to really build testosterone. Let's switch that up. Let's do compound movement. Let's do things that's going to make you develop and have free testosterone, which is essential for muscle growth and that which defines your masculinity.
Great. That's what I thought the answer was, and that's why I asked the question. Why do you think men should take interest in understanding, at least in understanding testosterone?
I think because as the days go on, our foods get a little more modified, if you will. So the nutrition of the food is not there. The food itself is there, but the nutritional value is not there. So if I'm not eating anything that's highly nutritional, then my body's going to suffer. And unfortunately, put the environment today that we have, a very complacent lifestyle, you got to force somebody to go out there and actually do something physical. So I think that in the long term, if you don't begin to take your testosterone in your body a little more serious, you'll suffer. I think as a whole society will later in life. It's important to have that which defines you, which is testosterone.
Okay. So that's my next question. What is testosterone? I remember when I first began to hear about it, and of course, back in school, yeah. But as a man, I had to go and do a little bit of research. So, a hormone.
It is a hormone. Males have testosterone and estrogen. Female have testosterone and estrogen. A man has much more testosterone than estrogen. That's what defines him as male. A female has more estrogen than testosterone. That's what defines her as females. Give her curves, her femininity, soft voice, the whole nine yards. Testosterone is going to give man his masculinity, his broad shoulders, his deep voice, the hair on his back, his chest, so forth and so on. And that's basically what testosterone is. It's something that defines you as male.
So testosterone is the primary male hormone.
Yes.
Right. That's what defines you as a male, as the bearer of seed.
Exactly. And you must drop more seeds. So the life cycle continues if you continue to do so. But a civilization that doesn't do that is doomed for disaster. So it's important that we continuously replenish this place.
Is it in limited supply?
No, the human body will produce testosterone. The oldest man in the world, if I'm not mistaken, India, he fathered a child at age 92. So this man was still able to get it in his 90s.
Dang.
So that lets you know that the body will continue to produce until it no longer exists.
Explain. Okay, so therefore it's a renewable supply, energy, not energy, but it's a renewable supply.
Yes, it's renewable offspring of you. So imagine if you're selling grocery, and let's say you're growing cabbage. And you don't treat the cabbage worth nothing. You don't give it the sunlight. You don't give it barely water. So out of a whole garden, you might yield 20% of your cabbage that you just planted. So now let's do this to body and testosterone. If you do that to your body, if you give your body the crappiest diet, the crappiest lifestyle, hardly sleep at all, you're not going to be producing anything too productive at that point. So I think that as you go on with your everyday life, you need to play homage to your body. Like the Bible says, the body is a temple. You need to respect it so it can reproduce. If not, then we will run into some difficulties.
I learned about this when I was recovering from pornography.
Yes.
When I was crazily seeking for ways to get myself, to cure ED, as well as stopping anxiety and the many other ailments, whether psychological or physical, that are a result of pornography, masturbation, right?
Yes.
So I learned that if I give the body time while nurturing it, it will go back to its natural state. Yes. That was an eye opener.
Yes,
when I heard it. So I said to myself, so you mean to tell me if I could only hold back from watching porn and jerking off, that my system is going to renew itself back to its original state? Like,
I'm about to explain something. Your body was working harmoniously. Remember how I spoke about the frequency, vibration, then rhythm. So what you did was by jerking off and throwing off your sex rhythm, you threw that rhythm off. So by you leaving it alone, the rhythm then got back in sync.
In sync, yes. That's exactly what was going through my mind.
Exactly. That's what anything on your body. Abuse anything and don't take it too far that it can't recover, then that rhythm will then begin to seep back into sync about with the true vibration that it's supposed to be receiving.
This is amazing. Yes, this is amazing. For the guys who are here and who want to know the question to what the cure to ED, as well as a way to stop anxiety, that's a comment that I got recently, which I haven't replied to. And if you're in the chat room or if you're online here right now, then this is your answer. It's semen retention. Basically just staying away of porn and stop losing that semen. Your body will go back to its natural state. I mean, ED will be so cured that you will not remember if you ever had it. I remember when mine got fixed, the woman that I was with couldn't believe that was the same man.
Yes. Sometimes it's mental and sometimes it is physical.
Correct.
And when it's physical, that's when you need to say, okay, what's going on here? Is it my blood flow? Why am I not waking up out of 7 days out of the week? I wake up no erection. Something is wrong at that point.
Yeah.
Because when you relax, everything's supposed to have some excitement in certain areas when you relax. But when it doesn't happen, and sometimes as your situation, you just had to let your vibration get back to the frequency it needed to be on.
Yeah.
Another person, it's a little more complicated. They may need to look into their diet and the fact that they're not doing certain things and start doing it.
Yeah.
To improve that area.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, I've taken that experience and used it as a template. And by a template, I mean anything else concerning my body and even my mind, I just let it fall into its natural rhythm.
Yes.
And I watch myself just either heal or go back by going back to its natural state. In almost everything, even with the diet.
Exactly. I mean, naturally, we know what we need to be eating or consuming, but for some strange reason, we go against the grain. And when we go against the grain, we then begin to suffer. And when we suffer, once again, that body is out of rhythm. And I mean, when you look at everything in life, everything has a rhythm to a frequency starting from vibration. Once it's broken, the problem is that imagine you dancing off beat. You got to get back on beat.
Yeah.
But for you to get back on beat, you got to stop, then get back on beat.
Yeah, catch the rhythm. Yeah,
you have to do
and that's true. Actually, that's what has happened. That's what happens if you're dancing. So I agree. Here's my next question.
Yes. Is
testosterone equally distributed among all males?
No.
I mean, no. Okay. Explain. Elaborate.
Yeah, that's why we have a guy. You could go and pick 3 guys. One guy is an age. All of them are age, say, 18. One guy might be 6'6", 260, with nothing but muscle. One guy might be 5'10", 280, with very little muscle and a lot of girth. One guy might be 6 feet tall and be 180 pounds. Well, they all gonna have different level of testosterone going through their body. The guy that's 6'6", 260, he's gonna be massive because he has zero body fat or very little, so he's gonna have a high level of testosterone. The guy that's fat, well, the guy that has the girth on him, I shouldn't say fat. Let me rephrase that. That wasn't a nice thing to say.
Okay.
The guy with some girth on him, he's gonna have lower level of testosterone just because, quite simply, he has equal fat to muscle in his body, so that throws off his estrogen testosterone level ratio. And the guy that's skinny could be anywhere, because if he's skinny and 6 foot 190, he could have a high testosterone level, but not as high as the guy with the muscles that's 6'6". So everyone's going to have a different level of testosterone,
which could be actually, which is a good thing, because you just told me it's renewable, so you can do something about it. So the guy with a little bit more girth on him can do something about it.
If he starts exercising, changing, he will then get the testosterone level of the guy with the very muscular guy. And if the guy that's skinny stop building muscle, and his testosterone will also go up. because the more muscle in your body equates to the more natural testosterone you have.
Do you know the age when, I know earlier you mentioned a 92-year-old man who got a baby. But has it been proven an age at which where testosterone stops in a man, like literally stops, like it's not?
I can't say with that. I haven't done enough research, but if I had to just talk off the top of my head, your body will continue to produce until your heart stops beating. So
we guarantee.
We guarantee that as long as something comes out, it should have some potency to it.
So testosterone is guaranteed.
It's with us for life. Except for those who abuse it with synthetic testosterone, because then your natural testosterone shuts down. Then you will need some enhancements to help get it going again.
Yeah, I have a question on that. We'll get to that. Any questions? Harvey, let me put Harvey's question on the screen. Give me a sec. What is Harvey saying? With semen retention, does the increased testosterone reserved increase the pheromones that women may pick on? Okay, I see what you're saying.
The male body does excrete a pheromone, and females do as well. That's what we naturally attracted to. I think the more masculinity you have, the more testosterone going through your body, you will put off an odor. You'll put off a stronger, muscular odor than a guy that doesn't. So if a woman is keen enough to pick up on that, then yes, Harvey, what you're asking is
yes,
correct.
You're in the game, Harvey. You're in the game. Even men, and I like to say it, not every man who watches this kind of content was addicted to pornography, okay? But even men who were not addicted to pornography, who are not seeking to recover from pornography, but when engages in semen retention, they can't believe the benefits, the effects. I mean, especially in female attraction. These days, it always so happens that when I park my car and I'm getting out to go into a store, that a woman just happens to exit her car and she's walking right in front of me.
Yes.
And when I'm in the store, it so happens that the aisle that I'm looking at a product on the shelf, but by the time when I turn around, a woman is right in front of me.
Yes, brother.
It happens, but before my no-fap, semen retention, sex energy transmutation journey, that didn't used to happen. I used to have to go physically find a woman to look at or to see. But for the past few years, and even so right now that I've been working out with you, even so right now, drinking these juices, working out, taking my supplements regularly, eating way better.
Yes.
Even today, I went to the store to get some sardines. I did get the sardines. I love them. I love them.
Don't they taste amazing?
Yeah, they taste amazing.
Yes,
they taste amazing. I had 2 cans.
Did you put the avocado and the cucumber along with the mango in there?
No, I didn't have avocado or mango today. I had avocado yesterday.
Yes, sir.
But mango, it seems like the season is leaving now.
It is leaving.
Yeah,
it is leaving.
I went to Publix and they had, whatever they had was still green. They were not even ripe. And of course, so I didn't get any.
Yeah, up until last week, the whole summer they were in season, so I was eating it daily. And now that they are out of season, what I'll have to do is put in some black beans at that point.
Okay.
I'll purchase the black bean. They'll be canned, but I'll wash the sodium off and
I need to transition to that. Well, I need to add that. But I have been eating the avocado and the mango ever since we talked about it. And now you have me on the sardines. But it's been a crazier experience. This Hattie earlier, just I got out of my car and boom, she's getting out of her car, walking in front of me. Of course, hips swinging left and right, right. I mean, it was a beautiful sight. I mean, that thing was good. Like, something we can do something with for a long time.
Beat it good, brother.
Yes. And of course, I don't know. She noticed when we get to that area where the carts are,
Yes.
she stopped to get a cart, and she still had enough time to get a cart and keep going. But of course, she stayed to get a cart. Then I passed, and then she followed suit, and I went into the juice section. And of course, I turned around. There she went, and I went to the cashier to check myself out. And the cashier wanted to talk. What are we saying? Yes, this is all to substantiate your answer to Harvey's question. That reserve of SR, semen retention, does contribute to the release of a massive amount of pheromones, like to the intensity of it, first of all, and the amount of it.
Yes.
These babies can, I mean, these women can
they
smell
can
you from a
smell it.
mile away.
They sense it. And when they do, they're ready to attack.
I've been saying to myself and my clients that if you can only switch your mind to understand that everything that happens with women is unconscious, you will begin to gain an advantage. Like, know that she is doing all of those things unconsciously. She's programmed to do that. She's not thinking, let me stop so he could go in front of me so I can observe him and then put myself in her vicinity, in his vicinity. Now, they do think that sometimes,
Yes.
but for the most part, if you ask her, she doesn't know. She can't, sometimes she doesn't even realize that she did it. It's all programmed. She's programmed. So to go back to something you said earlier, the more masculine you are, which means the more the higher the levels of testosterone in you, the more masculine you will be, the more masculine you will act, and of course, the more pheromones
your body will excrete. I want to add one thing. Earlier I said that testosterone level was different. Let me recheck that. The testosterone averages, I think, if I'm not mistaken, between 300 and 1100 or 900. One of those numbers. That's average.
Okay.
So once you fall below 300, then that's when you start to having the problems. And once you go over 1100, then that's just, it's like almost too much for your body.
We're gonna get that to the dark side of testosterone if that we want to use that.
Yes.
But
yeah,
I believe that there is a dark side.
That's when you overloading.
Yeah, that's when you become an a-hole.
No. Take a top-notch athlete. We'll take Mike Tyson, his prime.
Yeah.
Someone who trained to his level of intensity. His testosterone was way over the norm.
Yes.
Or even the top NFL football player, or even NBA basketball player. So that's why they can have 3 or 4 women in one night and still play a basketball game the next day because their bodies are performing on such an efficient level.
And it's not all nature. It's some of it nurture also, because you mentioned workout, right?
Yes. So you naturally have it to a certain age in your life. And everyone's different. But we'll say the roundabout age is 32. We'll say that. And once you get past 32, if you don't increase your level of intense workouts, or you don't keep your food precisely nice where you would stay in a hard state and don't get so much estrogen in your body, then your testosterone wouldn't naturally drop until it naturally, older man, you're in your mid 60s, it's going to drop at that point. But you can still fight against it as well, even at that age.
Dang.
It's all about the fight you want to be in.
Yeah. So, is testosterone nature or nurture or both?
It's both.
Yes, that's what I believe also.
It's both.
You're given a certain amount.
Yes.
And you can
increase it, or you can hold it and let the wind blow it away as you age and it leaves you, or you can dump it down the trash and really get into hard drugs, so forth, and really destroy your estrogen level. I mean your testosterone level. So it's totally up to you, whichever direction you want to go. You got a 3-way street. Which way you turning?
Yeah, I'm choosing nurture. I'm choosing to work.
Exactly, and that's a good way to look at it, King.
How does lifestyle, that is diet, exercise or lack thereof, sleep or lack thereof affect testosterone levels?
The body needs to replenish itself after a hard, vigorous day of anything. So you need a certain amount of sleep so that your body can repair itself. But as you sleep, you need to give it proper nutrients for that to happen. Don't do that, and that testosterone won't get replaced properly. So it's important that you rebuild your house with only the sturdiest equipment, because if you put flimsy equipment in, you're going to be replacing the window next month. You're going to be replacing the water heater in 2 years. You know, that stuff should be able to last forever. Not forever, but for the longevity of you have in your place. So same thing with the human body. Everything you've got, the universal God gave it to you. So now you can abuse it and lose it, or you can nurture it and get the best out of it.
Yeah. I believe lifestyle greatly impacts testosterone, from personal experience and from the men that I've interacted with. I do believe so. When I was on porn,
yes,
not only porn greatly affected it, but when I was on porn and at the same time gained some weight,
yes,
that was it. That was it for me. Nothing was going to happen. Exactly. I would wake up in the morning, day after day, with no movement, nothing. With a hot, light-skinned chick dating, nothing. Couldn't do anything.
Well, imagine your blood, this being your blood. Imagine say you're your blood, and you need to get you're on a football field, and you need to get from the 10-yard line to the 50-yard line. But in front of you is 500 people. By the time you maneuver, get through, it'll take maybe an hour, and you might get there. Now, if no one is there, you get right there. So by your stomach being the size that it was, your arteries, everything was off. Your blood couldn't flow properly to get it to do what it needed to do. But once you start enhancing your diet, you change your workouts, you lost the weight, then all of a sudden the body say, hey, he's back. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get this thing going.
This is crazy. It's crazy how, and it has happened several times, because there were times in the past, even when I was on porn, that I used to run it because I've been running for about 20 years now. And if I'm running and I lose the weight,
nothing, you good.
Then of course I get comfortable,
as we do,
gain weight, and it's crazy how easily the change takes place in the body. It's just like gaining weight.
Yes.
I used to think you gain weight over a long period of time, until I began to pay attention that I ate a pint of ice cream.
Yes.
In the evening, and I wake up the next day, my earbuds couldn't fit in my ears that next day, because a pint of ice cream is about 1,400 calories, and that's 1 pound, right? Correct. Yes. That's around 1 pound.
Yes.
And when I began to pay attention, I began to realize, that cup of soda I just had, I literally feel the effect on my body. It doesn't take a long time for the extra calories to go and find something to do.
No, because remember, the body's going to store it as sugar, because it's going to store it as glucose, because it wants to burn it. And by you eating ice cream at night, it was ready for you to burn the next day, but you didn't burn it. You probably ate a breakfast instead. So now you put the breakfast on top of energy that it was ready to burn. So now your body got to say, okay, what do we do with some? Okay, let's store it back up. Let's store it. So now we store it, and then you don't burn the breakfast you just ate. Now lunchtime roll around. Now you got to store the breakfast with the ice cream. So before you know it, all that's stored and not burned slowly turns into fat. And that's where the problem lies, because when that fat develops, it's going to go in your arteries, it's going to go in between your muscles, it's going to go everywhere. And that's now the problem is, how do I get this off?
Yeah, I've learned my lesson. Let's talk about the effects of testosterone on men, not only physically and sexually, but also in the arena of personal achievement, success. Because imagine if a guy is feeling lethargic, unmotivated, so he doesn't have that motive power behind him pushing him. So of course he's not going to take action towards whatever goal that he might have.
Yes.
So in your line of work as a personal trainer, have you noticed a difference between the guy who's making progress, so let's say who's losing the weight, toning up, and the new client who's overweight?
Yes. I mean, well, fortunately now pretty much most of my clients are already at their desired goal. So I'll go back maybe 6 years ago when I was getting people who were out of shape, but just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
They'd come in and they'd give me everything they had, and I'd push them to a limit. And you got to be careful as you push people. You got to be, make sure that they don't get tunnel vision.
Right.
Make sure that they don't begin to start losing focus through the movements, because that's one sign that you putting too much pressure on them for them to achieve whatever goal you put out there for them. So now you got to look at the fact that, okay, I got to keep this person going, but this person is walking around seeing bodies in tip-top shape. So now they're getting a little discouraged. So then I got to let them know that, hey, everyone has a story if you talk to them. So let's not look at Leroy's body and say, why can't I look like that? Let's look at our bodies and let's push. So now I got to get into their head mentally. And once I get into their head mentally and they start seeing a little victory, from that little victory, the reward becomes endless, because now you see the possibility of you getting more in shape. So then you start seeing a more energetic client come through the door. Start saying, hey, me and my wife did this, or hey, we did that. So now I got a client that's talking more energetic, all because they started to make the change, and the change then took over them. So now they running with it.
Yeah, I would have to believe so. Not only for myself, but in my coaching too. If the man is excessively ejaculating, excessively depleting his semen supply, of course, the lower his testosterone levels drop, and the more lethargic he is, and it's almost impossible to get even a phone call made.
Yes. Then you got to get into their psychic at that point. Everyone's a little different. So what key that worked on this guy won't work on that guy. So now you got to recreate another key, or go through your key selection and see what's going to work. And when you find that, you got to run with it, because everyone's going to be a little different in how to respond to your push or your command or even your request.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be ready for the answer. And then whatever answer come your way, you got to be able to deal with it and make it work.
True.
Because you're a coach, and coaching is what you do. You find out, how do I get there, and you get there.
Yeah, I remember you said to me, was it yesterday or Monday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yes.
If what works for you is 50%, will work for me 50%, then we got to find the other 50%.
Yeah, make it
to complete the 100 of what will work for me. Help us understand. Do we have any questions? Any questions, guys? Guys, we have 17 guys watching. Can give us a few likes, guys. Give us a few likes. As you know, the YouTube algorithm considers these kind of topics and discussions as pseudoscience. So unless you are subscribed to the channel, it doesn't get recommended to you. So if you like it, then the algorithm follows the user. It follows the audience. That's what YouTube says. And also, if you are here and have not subscribed, well, consider subscribing. The work here is Men's Superpower. Men's Superpower is a work in sex energy transmutation, primarily helping men to stop jerking off, stop watching porn, conserve their semen through semen retention, and then invest that semen through sex energy transmutation. So we transform our lives from mediocrity to excellence. That's what I like to say I've done for myself. And that's what I'm here to help you do. So give us a few likes, comments, share this on Facebook, whatever you do, just help to spread the word and support the work while you are here. So, King.
Yes, King.
What's up with that 5 a.m. boner? Help us understand. I mean, I'm sure we've experienced it, but help us understand what happens to the body. Somebody said something about the circadian rhythm, sleep.
I think it all factors in because you're completely relaxed. Your body is in REM, rapid eye movement, and you in that deep sleep. In that deep sleep, that's when the erections occur. Full erections, and it lets you know that you're normal, you're natural. That's the best of my ability to explain it. I'll have to do more research and see what the big boys say, but that's just my way of breaking it down.
So now my next question, which could be a bit funny, I actually laughed when I wrote it down.
Yes.
So what's up with this 12 out of 24 boner that I've been getting since I've been working out with you on your workout plan?
It's designed to keep the way I believe in training is I want blood flow going throughout the body, throughout the whole workout. So it's almost like you're always doing overall body work. So if I can get blood to leave your quads, go to your triceps, leave your triceps, go to your calves, leave your calves, then go to your traps. The blood travel from your thigh to your triceps, to your calves, to your traps. And that's one set. Then the next set, I'll have you doing something where the blood go from your back to your legs, to your biceps. And that's just blood flow. So if we can get blood going throughout the body, it's clearing your veins, your arteries, and now you have a clear street for the blood to travel upon. And that's called, a lot of those movements that you do are compound movements, which in my opinion is one of the best ways to build testosterone naturally.
Yeah.
And then plus you're doing the diet. Now what you're going to notice that by you getting those 1,700 milligrams of omega-3s with the sardines, it's going to benefit your body tremendously. In about 2 weeks, you'll be like, I'm feeling a little different. I'll be like, yeah, I knew you would be.
It's amazing. I think my body's ready to go now. So on the Saturday, I've been running the 5K. I've been doing the 5K since my knee has been feeling better. I mean, it's much better now.
Yes.
Whether when I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and run Saturday, it's always on. Like everything just goes straight into my pelvic area. It's like there's some heat there. There's a massive rush of blood. There's so much movement in that area. It's crazy. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And of course, it's ready to go at any given moment. Yes. Any time of the day, it's ready.
You cocked and ready to go get it. But that's because you train hard and your diet is good and it's getting better and better. So what you experience is just the beginning. Once you get the third and fourth gear, you're going to be like, King, I got a problem. Be like, King, I know what you're talking about. Handle your problem, bro. Then we'll get back to this thing.
Yeah. No, I will hit this. Well, I don't have to hit the streets. I mean, they're out there. I would make my selections.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'll make my selections. But I'm looking forward to my new workout plan.
Yes, next week I'll have it for you.
Yeah. So it's been over 6 weeks, but of course I didn't start until my knee was better. But it's been amazing. I've watched my midsection just going in, almost every single day, and my clothes are getting looser, and yeah, it's been amazing the way that I feel, of course. So I appreciate you, and come to think of it, I met you as a personal trainer, but you've become more essential than just a personal trainer. Look at you here with me a second time. You've introduced me to Harvey, who's been on the show twice. And next week, we have a young actor, Mike, who's coming. So really, I have this book called The Relationship Factor, or The People Factor. It's from my time in the church, but I've always had it through the many moves through states. So I've always had it. And it talks about how really it's about people. You will meet people on the basis of one thing, but then all of a sudden they become more important than just that one aspect in your life. So I appreciate you.
Feel is the same, King. Feel is the same. Respect.
All right. Questions, guys? Any questions? Any comments? We have 15 guys in the house. Send your comments. Send your questions. I know we're talking about testosterone.
If possible, I'd like to speak a little about on
Go ahead.
environmental and estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pollution that's in the environment. It's in our water supply. It's in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
That it ultimately make its way into our food source. So with that being said, we got to really look at the source of where we get things from. We got to make sure that we're not doing so much soy. It's extremely highly estrogenic, and beer is estrogenic as well.
You said beer?
Yeah, beer.
Huh.
The barley. In the 13th century, I think it was in Europe, they noticed that the women that picked the barley started menstruating early, the little girls. So they knew it was highly estrogenic. And there's many more plants that's estrogenic. I just can't name them all off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that we need to be very cautious on how we eat. Make sure that when we get in our food source, we kind of question things. Hey, is this farm raised or is this wild caught? And you want to do more wild things than things that were raised in a farm for you to consume.
Mm. Yeah, elaborate on the testosterone, on the ratio of testosterone and estrogen in a man's body. And last time you said it, and of course you just said it right now also, if we're not careful, we may nurture things through our lifestyle, like beer. I mean, I'll have a beer if I go. I won't buy it, but if I go to an event and it's one of the things that you're serving.
One beer is not a problem. It's those guys doing 6 a night.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Let's just leave that alone. 6.
Yes, yeah,
I mean, they do 24.
Well, yeah, but do it enough, and then what happens is that gut begin to protrude. And once that stomach go past a certain level of size, then diabetes is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So that's something you really need to look at.
Yeah, we're not doing that no more. Mm-mm. So through our lifestyle, you said we can eat certain things as well as. Well, so tell us about some behaviors. What are some behaviors that can? I don't want to say increase estrogen in our body, but perhaps that can cause estrogen for us to exhibit it more than testosterone. So let's say one thing that's on my mind is lethargy. So if you're watching television all day and you just
well, if you're not doing, the body is designed to move. If it lay dormant, like if you lay someone in a bed and don't turn them, they'll get bed sores. So the body is designed to move, and if you don't move it, you're gonna lose it. Very, very simple. There's been people who, I saw this one specialist guy in India who kept his arm up over his head for over 20 years. Well, he can't put it, for some spiritual, whatever reason he did it, his muscle atrophy because he wasn't using it. So anything you don't use, it's going to atrophy on the body, and then you're going to lose it.
Right.
So I think it's important to move the body, because if I'm sitting at home watching TV, if I'm watching a program, if I start watching at 9 o'clock in the morning and here it is 6 in the evening and I haven't moved, that's a long time to be sitting there doing nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're sick or recovering, that's no problem.
Right.
But if you're just sitting there watching someone else perform something for you that you got to believe, then you're doing things wrong. Make your life a movie. You be the actor. Let society be the audience.
Man, it's interesting that you said that, because I like to say it. I have not owned a television since 2004, so that's 16 years. I have not watched live television since then. I've been online, of course, now with YouTube, and what I watch is on demand. I know what I'm looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, every once in a while I watch something, a recommendation, but I consume content based on my research, my interest.
Yes.
So, and I like to say, watching television or just consuming content for the sake of consuming content is like you're basically paying homage to that person for stepping out of their comfort zone and creating something and making something out of their lives while you're just sitting there not making anything out of your own life.
Yeah, you watch someone else live their life while your life is willing away.
Yeah.
So who wins here on that one?
They win. And there are so many people living that way. They can't wait to for that new season to come out. They can't wait for them to. Oh, let's talk about that show last night. They can't wait to the next night.
Yeah, if you have that much time on your hand to worry about how a show is gonna turn out, then you got to look at your life and say, "Man, I got that kind of time, huh?"
Yeah. It's time to put in some work for yourself. It's time to work on yourself. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy to work on yourself. It's not easy actually to produce something. Now, I think there are two parts to working on oneself. There's the theoretical part. Oh, I'm doing some work on myself, and it's the talk. I'm just saying it. But the second part, which is the actual action, putting in the work, like getting your hands dirty.
Yes.
And once the rubber meets the road, it's not easy. But the fulfillment that comes from that, the sense of the appreciation that you get from people, in my case or in your case, right? Here I am saying thank you for this program. Thank you for helping me see some results so quickly. And when a guy comes on my channel and the way the comments and the way he feels he's being helped, the rewards are so amazing that they outweigh the pain.
Yes.
But we know it's not easy to get going and get things done, but you can't spend your entire life being a consumer. At some point in time, you gotta stop and start being a creator.
Yes.
And start participating in your own life. You start giving something back to society. It doesn't matter how small it is.
That's right.
Because we have your own gift is hidden inside of you while you're watching all these people living out their gifts.
Yes.
So do us a favor. Start operating in your gift, because we will benefit from it. Because you might be the next, who knows, the next high-tech company, the next guy who finds a cure for whatever, the next guy to start a big business that we will all benefit from.
But you won't know it until you put one foot in front of the other and put effort to what
Yes.
you're trying to obtain.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't do it if you're sitting there watching Will Smith live his life on a tube,
Yeah. It's so many issues facing modern society.
That is true.
I think somewhere, I don't want to misquote the Bible, but somewhere King Solomon, I think he says, the wise man suffers because he sees the people's pain. He tries to help, but of course the people are not even aware that they need the help, so they don't take the help, and yet he's in pain watching the people self-destruct.
Yes. And that's pain on both ends, because the people are suffering and he's suffering watching those people suffer. So, two wrongs. Nothing's right here.
Yeah. We have a question. Does drinking a lot of water increase your testosterone?
No, sir.
And it's just water, right?
Yes, it's just water.
Yeah. What can we drink that would increase testosterone? Anything specific?
I mean, you have to, I would say protein shakes, plant-based, of course, because the more muscle you build, naturally, the more testosterone level rises. So the more muscle you have on you, the more the higher your testosterone is going to be naturally, as long as your muscles are natural.
Here's a comment. Since I've been on semen retention, I definitely feel my testosterone rising. I feel much more masculine. Dude, you have a lot of energy. Your energy is screaming through your videos. I mean, this guy is saying, now that you're back. I mean, this guy, his energy is through the roof in his videos. Keep going in your journey, man. Keep posting those videos. Today, a woman went out of her way to tell me how she appreciates me, and I don't even know this woman. Yeah.
It's like we talked about the pheromones.
The pheromones, huh?
Yes. She must have sensed it, brother.
She sensed you from, yeah. That's what she's appreciating.
Exactly, brother boss.
Dang. It's an amazing life, I want to say. It's an amazing life when a man starts paying attention to himself, when a man makes his life his own business.
Yes.
It's an amazing experience.
At first it was man, then woman came from man, from my understanding. So if the man is right and he's shining with an aura that's just overwhelming, then she can't not see it. So he then becomes the hunted and she becomes the hunter. Role play.
Here's a big question from Harvey. I do want to say that Harvey knows the answer. He's been on this show many times, but he is I think he has a Socratic method of teaching where he asks a question,
yes,
but so that he can teach, or so that information can be given at least.
Yes, he put the seed out there for you to
right.
watch it grow.
Yes. Can constant depletion of testosterone through spilling seed without purpose, that is jerking off, let's say it, can that change a man physically and mentally? Man, the answer is yes. You go give some explanation.
I would definitely, I would agree, because
but
if you keep tossing out the salad, you know what I'm saying, you won't have any energy to perform hardly anything. You need to recover. So overdoing it could definitely deplete you. It could deplete your psychic. It can make you so tired you don't want to get out of the bed. You don't want to go to work. You want to eat good junk and garbage. So yeah, I can definitely see it could change you mentally and physically, Harv.
Yeah, I mean, I can say for myself. We have plenty of guys online who have NoFap channels, and they be posting before and after semen retention pictures. Two different men. Even in my case, I have some pictures that I wasn't prepared to pull up right now, but it's two different men. I mean, I was looking like I don't want to say a weak young man, even up into, I turned 36 because I was still jerking off. I mean, you look at me, you wouldn't think that I was that age like I was until I start speaking. You'll be like, whoa, I mean, you look like you're 18, but not even, and that wasn't a compliment though. It wasn't a compliment.
Yeah, I understand.
It wasn't a compliment. Your whole body changes, of course. We don't even have to talk about the voice, but your whole body changes. Even facial structure changes. The guys who stop jerking off, all of a sudden their face becomes somewhat more square, and their shoulders are more squared and broader, as opposed to being more rounded and yeah. Yes. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of change. Mentally, oh man, you already know. Depression stops, anxiety stops, focus. I like to say now, after a few years in, my best benefit is my ability to go deep on anything, even in talking to you one-on-one.
Yes.
If I'm talking to you, I just find myself going so deep, like my eyes just lock onto your eyes. And I would just wake up, oh snap! Like I've been looking at that man for the past 5 minutes, just like that. Whatever I'm doing, I go so deep. The peace of mind, the self-confidence, it's a lot more benefits. We're just basically just touching the surface. We're not even doing justice to that question, because that question is so macro. It has a lot of things packed right inside of it.
Yes.
But you can get us going with that question, Harvey.
We can talk for hours, Harvey. Good question, bro.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. A man who's spilling his semen without purpose, that is jerking off, guys, wasting it, and a man who's holding it are two different men.
That's right.
Could be the same men physically, like in terms of where, the same name, it's the same guy, but when you put them side by side in terms of pictures, you're like,
totally different.
Oh gosh, that's not the man that I knew. So somebody says so many benefits. Absolutely. The benefits are endless. We're still talking testosterone. Any more questions on testosterone, guys? We have 13 guys, 15 now. Give us a few more likes, guys. Send in your questions, your comments. We're talking about testosterone. Testosterone is important on this journey of men's superpower. A men's superpower is sexual discipline. And sexual discipline is simply retaining from excessive use of your sexual energy, because you are your sexual energy as a man. You are your libido. You are your life force. The more you hold that in for yourself, the more alive, the more magnetic, the stronger, the more powerful you come across. And it's more than coming across. You actually are. You feel it in yourself. And on that journey, testosterone is more important, because testosterone is the primary male hormone. That's what makes you a male and therefore a man. Yeah. Testosterone can be your friend or your foe in the sense of, if you nurture it, it will benefit you. If you don't nurture it, then it will become your worst enemy by basically you're being lethargic,
yes,
not moving, not getting things done, and of course forget about attracting women and forgetting about even being able to have sex with them. So this is a crucial discussion. I wish I could have found a discussion like this when I was recovering from porn. I wish I could have found two grown men who, with understanding, who sit down to talk and put that content out there. And unfortunately, it wasn't out there. Now, today you can find a lot of information, but even this kind of 1.5 or 2 hour discussion around one topic like that was not out there. And I decided that I was going to come and do it. So there are a lot of guys doing this same work, but everybody's going to do the work differently. And I'm just doing my part, my little part of it this way. I feel like we need to have more discussions, like lengthy discussions on these subjects where all questions are asked, all considerations are made, yes, everything is told, not just a 10-minute video. Now, there are guys on my channel saying, yeah, good information, great content. Can you make shorter videos, like 10 minutes? I said, man, this was a live. And I got a comment today where somebody replied to a comment like that, and they weren't nice to that person. They told that person to stop BITCHIN.
Bro.
They say, brother, just go ahead and watch it in several takes.
Yes.
Stop.
Start, go as far as what you can take, and then down it, and then okay, stop back here.
So this guy came in, and I was laughing when I got the comment. He said, "Man, just watch it in several takes and stop BITCHIN."
Yes.
G. But sometimes a man needs that reminder. But brother, just watch the content, the hour and a half long, several times, because that's what I do with long content that I consume. But a 10-minute.
It's not. It barely cracks the surface.
Come on now.
I mean, you're not going to get much done in 10 minutes.
Come on.
You need to elaborate on things. You need to explain things.
But you see, this is what they're accustomed to.
Quickness.
And this is what those guys are, because perhaps they don't have enough essence to go longer. And perhaps, here's what I like to say about the West. The West is like this. They do everything on the surface. The West, you'll find on social media, a woman or a man just got recommended a book, right? A book just got recommended to him. And he goes on social media and posts a picture of that book or show a quick video of that book saying, "Oh, man, this book was just sent to me and I'm looking at the table of contents. It's a great contents. I recommend it to you now. Go ahead and read it. I'm looking forward to reading the book."
Yes.
Bro, you have not read the book. You have nothing to say about the book. You can't recommend that book to me. Stop showing off. Stop being the surface. But that's what we do in the West. We tap at the surface. We tell people about things that we have not done, that we don't have information on, we have not gone deep on, and that's what we do. So that could account for the fact that contents are no longer than 10 minutes. And if you look at YouTube, there are certain men and women out there who have channels and they have a lot of subscribers who do topics who go 2-3 hours in, because these topics are massive, they're deep, they have many layers, and nobody complain about that. But we understand it's the culture. It's the TikTok culture.
The now culture.
30 seconds culture.
The microwave culture.
Yeah. So I wanted to be myself, how I see it. I know there are men like me out there who want to sit down and have an hour and a half conversation only on testosterone. They want testosterone to be looked at from every angle, whatever we know about it to be said, yes, so that they walk away with a good understanding.
Yes, King. So true. And as long as they come to the room, we'll be able to give them some adequate answers to their questions. But if they never show up, how can we be connected?
Yeah. We have another question from J Boss. Okay. It hasn't popped up over there yet. Living in a Western society while on semen retention, it will be difficult. How can a man avoid being sexually aroused, and avoid blue balls while being around lots of women? That's a macro question. That question has a lot of questions inside of it.
It does.
But tonight we're talking about testosterone.
The thing about, let's say David, you see a beautiful, sexy woman. Wow. Let's say it's 4:00 in the afternoon. You can't get out of your mind. You go home, you go to sleep, and in your mind that night you have a dream about her. Mm-hmm. Well, you could very well have a wet dream. It happens.
Right.
That meant that your body was full to the limits of the semen, and it just came out. It's a normal thing that happens. So if the body have to excrete it, it will.
Yeah.
So I think, boss, if it gets too excited for you, then take a nap and
take a cold shower. Cold shower,
then a nap.
Do something physically exhaustive, like go run, go lift, go work out. These should help. But let me talk about blue balls. Blue balls, some people say they don't exist. They're not even a medical diagnosis that talks about blue balls, right? It's a common name associated with having a lot of semen, being horny essentially, and not having sex and not releasing that semen and that pain that you feel.
Yes.
Bro, let me break it down to you. It does happen, but only in the early stage of your semen retention. Every man past, for example, 9 months, 1 year is no longer experiencing blue balls. Your body adapts to the increased energy. Your body adapts to the new energy. You just keep going. You just keep living. Yeah, you're going to have a boner more often than not. You're going to feel that rush of energy, but it won't be painful balls. It won't be like your pelvic area is crazy, like it's in pain and you feel like you have to do something right there and then. You will be in control of it. See, what happens is with these questions and also with the guys who get stuck at this part is that they never make it far enough to see that blue balls is actually in the early stage of semen retention.
So when they first experience it, it makes, I guess, scare them. Whoa, I don't like
Right.
So you run away from the pain, so you go back to
correct.
Okay.
And they never make it past that. So they never get to see that, wait a minute, oh, after 7, 8, 9 months, I'm not in pain no more. I don't experience pain, bro. I don't experience pain. And the guys who practice semen retention and who are successful on their channels don't talk about blue balls because they know it's in the early stage. If you want, this information can save you. It's the early stage. And why? We understand it. Your body is not used to sitting on all that energy. Your body is not accustomed to holding all that energy. And now your balls are hurting. Yes, they're physically hurting. And of course, that translates into mental and psychological pain because you're like, oh man, I'm hurting down there and it's bothering me. And since anytime you felt a little movement in your pelvic area, you used to run and release. Now you're not doing it. So psychologically, it makes you feel uncomfortable. But if you could go through it, you will soon realize it's not a lifetime condition. It's not a lifetime experience for men who are on semen retention.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Right. It's not a lifetime. It passes. In fact, the few articles I've read from medical professionals are like, it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. It's not a serious condition. The way guys talk about blue balls, and women actually use that to get guys to be with them. Like, oh, well, I won't have sex with you, so you're gonna have blue balls. And of course, basically, the fear there is you will die.
Yeah, because the pain is so severe.
And yeah, because you can't take the pain. But bro, there is a threshold. There is a gate for you. Once you pass through that gate, if you can only make it through that gate, you will be free. All the issues that being horny gives you, having high sexual levels in your body gives you, once you go through that gate, you won't experience them no more. Because like as I talk about in the 3 stages of semen retention, once you go from the butterfly stage, which is the initial stage that most men stay at, and that's where you're at. That's why you're getting the blue balls, or that's why you're fearing blue balls. But once you make it to the 3rd stage, which is the peaceful stage, the stage of power, where now your body knows, okay, this is who we are now. We hold semen. We hold all this power. We're always full of energy. We're always horny. We're always ready to go. But now we practice sex energy transmutation. That is, we take that energy and we create real life accomplishments. At that point, you become a new man. You become a beast. Blue balls is the last thing on your mind because you won't experience it.
Yeah, facts. That is true, brother.
Yeah. A lot of questions that I get doing this work is because the guys are forever in the early stage of the journey. And it's not like some guys it's not like they're just starting out. They could have been in that same. They could be in that same position for 1 year. It's just like you said. Every time they get to the point where whoa, it's a lot of pain there. It's hurting. I think I'm gonna die. Then they go and jerk off and have sex, and now they start their journey all over again. So they never get to go through that gate. They never get to push that barrier and that horizon and break through and make it to the other side. And so therefore they never get to experience the true power. They never get to experience the true peace that comes from being on the other side.
So they're constantly restarting.
Correct. Correct. They're constantly restarting. I did a live on the 3 crucial stages of semen retention. The first stage is the butterfly stage, as I like to call it. You're all giddy up, happy. Oh, I have a lot of energy. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm excited. Oh, whoa. And then the emotional labor stage as I call it, where now the guy is feeling pain, and that can include blue balls and emotional pain.
Yes.
And of course, he gets scared because he's not accustomed to working through his emotions and pushing through and breaking through. And so he runs back
to that which is comforting to him.
And then he starts the journey all over again. So he never makes it to the promised land as the third stage, which is the peaceful stage, the powerful stage. He never makes it there. And most guys.
I have a question. When you're talking to one of your clients on semen retention, do you have them understand, like, look, at first you're going to hit this wall, and if you run away from it, you're going to constantly.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's basically that's the bulk of the discussions. The bulk of my discussion with clients or even commenters and guys who email me is the emotional labor, the pain that will come.
Yes,
will be the biggest thing to beset you, will be the biggest obstacle that you have to face. Because let's say there's almost nothing else.
Yes.
But just that pain and that fear, for example. So let's say a guy relapses just I don't want to say just because that might make it sound like it wasn't hard for him. Right. So I don't want to say just because. But he relapses because he fears if he goes to bed with that energy in his body, feeling the way he's feeling, that he might not be able to fall asleep. He might experience pain. And so therefore, to avoid that future pain, that perceived future pain, to alleviate that pain,
you then go through with that action.
Let's just jerk off right now.
Yeah.
And so we can fall asleep. But then that pain is only perceived right now. It's not coming. But so really it's only the pain
that they run from.
Right. It's only the pain.
You tell them you have to embrace that pain. You have to become familiar with it. Invite it in until it no longer wants to come in. Then it no longer shows up.
Yeah. I like to talk about drudgery on this journey. And I talk to all my clients because you have to. That's all there is. There isn't anything else but the pain and the drudgery and the silence. That's all that there is. There will come a point where a sense of drudgery will come over you. Yes. It'll feel like nothing is exciting, nothing is going on. It doesn't matter what you do, you just can't pick up your mood. You're no longer excited all of a sudden. You're no longer motivated all of a sudden. But it's your system seeking to get you back where it knows best, yes, which is with the porn and with ejaculation. And as I have done, and other guys who've been this far have done, and as I have coached clients who have succeeded, is it's your system conspiring to get you to go and take that path of least resistance.
Yes.
And if you could only maintain this sense of drudgery, this sense of nothing is going on. Oh, I don't know what it is, man. I'm not feeling excited at all. If you could only stay in it, you won't die.
No.
Just stay in it. If you only stay in it one day, at the end of that day, your brain will have rewired to repeat that.
Yes.
But if you haven't stayed in it one day, you don't know what it is to do it. So your brain still doesn't know how to resist.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's straight dead on point. What you're saying.
Yeah. Even for working out, I'm sure as a personal trainer, you know, I've heard Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about that, and that's been on my mind. He says there is a threshold of pain that is meant to keep you without the growth.
Yes.
And he says if you can push through that threshold of pain, if you can break through it, then you will get the growth.
Yes. There's anything that grow, it has to endure some type of pain. When you, David, as you train and you as you come down to your normal size, your pain is not pain, it's more so pleasure, but it's the same thing.
Right.
It's just you turn yours into pleasurable.
Yeah.
Because you see your results. Oh man, let's give you more gain, more to go. But if a person who's trying to, let's say, become the best bodybuilder in the world, we know how far Ronnie Coleman went. You know how far Phil Heath went. Are you willing to go that extra step?
Yeah.
It's going to be painful.
Yeah.
But here's your reward. So look at the reward, look at the pain, and ask yourself, am I made for this?
Yeah.
And that mirror is going to tell you the answer.
Yeah. What helped me on my journey was to think of other men who have succeeded. I told myself, man, there are so many men who have done this, so I can do it. They didn't die, so chances are I'm not going to die.
True. You took their strength.
Yeah.
And ran with it. You took their strength and you ran with it.
I'm like, there are men who've done this. So even with the workout, right? I've never worked out this hard before. Although I've been in the gym for some years, I was always doing my own stuff. You know, it's my first time.
But when someone gets behind your wheel and you push you to the passenger side and say, let's ride.
But one of the things that I tell myself is, but guys do this all the time. I see them in the gym. You do it all the time. I see you work out. And every time I show up at the gym, I'm like, man, PT is looking better than last time I saw him. I'm like, but guys lift this 55-pound dumbbell and bench press it all the time. All the time. So I am just like them. I'm just a man. I can do it.
Of course. And you're doing it.
So I do those things on borrowed strength. I borrow the successes of other men that I may not know physically, but I see them. I know that they're, I mean, some of the guys I may not know personally, but I see them. Yes. They're curling 50 pounds, or well, I don't know if I've seen 50 pounds, but they're definitely benching 65, 70 pound dumbbell.
Yes, even higher than that.
Even more than that. I've seen guys with 90 with a spotter. They can do it. They've done it.
Exactly.
So I can do it too. And that's a good encouragement for somebody to know that some guy has succeeded on no fap, and some guy has succeeded on semen retention, and so can you. Operate on borrowed strength. Borrow strength from somebody else, from somebody who's done it.
Use their guidance.
Yes, and let that guide you.
That's right. Check your ego at the door and get in your passenger seat.
Yeah. We have 16 guys in the house, 15 likes. Give us a few more likes, guys. Thank you for stopping by. A lot of guys are passing through. We appreciate you passing through.
Respect.
There is a percentage here. Only 3% of men in the world. Hold on, let's put that on the screen. Only 3% of men in the world practice semen retention, and glad all the men in the chat are being disciplined. I don't know. I don't know about the percentage, Because there are levels on semen retention, bro.
Yeah,
It's a small percentage.
It is. I mean, I think many men at some point in their life have done it.
Correct.
And didn't even realize it.
Realize it. Correct. You're right.
It has happened.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it has happened. But yes, to emphasize, to answer to the discipline part, definitely, the discipline that comes as a result is amazing. The discipline that comes is amazing. And so just keep going. Yeah, just keep going. Another question. Hold on. How would you feel around Eduardo Jose? Oh, it's a good question.
Okay.
How do you recommend qigong and tai chi flow energy around the body and not let it stagnate, thus helping with the SR journey? Absolutely. I've looked into qigong myself and tai chi, whatever you can do. If that's the route you want to go, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
These are energy flow practices, and so is workout.
Yes.
So is cycling, running, and meditation. Not as physically effective, but they're energy cycling practices. So if that works for you better, you go for it. I think I've chosen the workout route. Exhaust the body, use the tension part of the energy and keep the benefit, and then meditate and then contemplate.
Yes.
Whether before, and then doesn't mean right after, but I'm saying like physical exercise becomes the primary vehicle that you channel.
Yes.
This power, this energy, this dynamo, like the primary vehicle.
Yes, King.
You can't go wrong with that. But yes, it is recommended to practice qigong and I think that Tai Chi. I think it's qigong, gigong. It's one of those. But I said it right the first time though. But yes, you definitely. Now, let's talk about stagnate. It's good to say something about stagnate. So what do we mean by stagnation, or what would be meant by to help the body and not let the energy stagnate? Now, stagnate gives the impression that something is sitting, nothing is moving.
Yes.
Oh, that's not true about the body.
Everything is always moving.
That's not true about the body. There's no stagnate energy in the body.
It doesn't exist.
So we need to redefine terms and so that we can set ourselves free. Because if you're thinking that the energy can stagnate in you, then that can put you in a state of fear. Like, man, just like blue balls. Yeah. Man, I don't want my energy to stagnate and get blue balls and I might die. And I might lose I've heard that before, I might lose my libido. I might lose
your libido drops.
Right. So I might lose the essence of my masculine essence. But no, brother, the energy does not stagnate. Not because you're not releasing it physically that it's stagnated. In fact, it's being transmuted by itself to your brain, to your higher functions. It goes up and down from the lower chakras all the way to your higher chakras, all by itself. That's why your memory improves, your sleep is deep, you speak better, your physical appearance changes on semen retention. That's why all of those things happen to you, because the energy is not stagnant. Right. It is operated, it is circulating. So perhaps that might set you free right there to know that, no, brother, there's no stagnation in the energy in you. There's nothing for you to try to help your body to do. Yeah, you can still get into the practice, but understand that the premise is not because you don't want it to stagnate, but let the premise be because you want to have a better harmonious experience with your semen, on your semen retention journey.
That's right. It's all about the rhythm and the frequency.
Yeah. Questions, guys. I only have 2 more questions for you, King, on testosterone.
Yes.
But whoa, Harvey has already asked that question. That's my question 11. Harvey asked that question. My question was, does excessive ejaculation decrease T levels, testosterone levels in men? Conversely, does retaining one semen increase T levels? Of course, we already know the answer, but it would be for the sake of having the conversation. But Harvey asked that question earlier. So
we build on that, yes.
Absolutely. So we're only taking questions that are directly related to testosterone. Quizzy, I see you have changed your name, but we're only taking questions directly. Can we tell if a guy is practicing semen retention?
No, I mean, a female
can tell more than you.
Yeah, of course, because she could sense the pheromones.
Yeah. But then something just crossed my mind. But then if you're not interested in men, unless you're interested in men, don't let that be your business. Don't let that be an interest. Yeah. Unless you're interested in men.
That's the thing. Each is on.
Yeah. So you being on semen retention is enough focus.
Yes.
Yeah, is enough focus. So.
And like we said, the woman, she'll be like a boss at home. Said that the lady was hollering at him, or she could tell.
Right, exactly.
She has the receptors to pick up on that. So
she was talking to him, and he doesn't even know
exactly
the lady, but the lady's telling him that she appreciates him. So let your own energy be your focus, and life will be good. It's a beautiful life. It's a wonderful life.
Exactly, King.
For every guy who wants to get on this journey and practice this semen retention journey. So a little bit more on testosterone, King. I know you gotta wake up early. We are about an hour and a half in. Let's talk about the dark side of testosterone.
Over-aggression could be a dark side. If you don't know how to channel that energy properly, you can be a little more aggressive than what you need to be. Take a football player who makes a tackle, but in the act of making a tackle, he gets up, kick the guy in the head, pull his helmet off, and start beating him. Well, it's well enough to make the tackle, but you did something called overkill. It didn't require all that. So that could be the extra testosterone rage that's going through your body. Normally when that happens, the rage is added by some synthetic things in the body, because your natural testosterone should have a start-stop button. It's that synthetic that sends you over the top.
And that's testosterone treatment.
No, well, that's AKA steroids, HGH. Okay. I mean, they have all type of things on the market right now. It'll blow my mind. I don't even know what's all out there, but some of the things that our sports figures do that's questionable, we can probably link it to that excessive testosterone that's flowing through their body, that's changing their psychic.
without going too deep into this, I have to believe that crazy levels of testosterone are responsible for, or maybe for violence in our communities, and for the amount of men in jail that have to do that had, you know, who are in jail because of violence, whether on a woman or on another.
I think
Man.
there's some validity to that, but I'd like to add that a man with a high level of testosterone, when the cops come, you're not that fight. You're not ending that fight right then and there. It's about to be a fight. It's on, you know. So you might die in that fight because you're not going to quit till you get your point across. So now, naturally, if your level is natural, you're gonna know you're gonna have that off button. But when your levels are totally off key and you can't make good decisions because you put a fair amount of synthetic things in your body, then it's like me saying, David, stop. You keep going. David, stop. Now, David, I got to get something to hit you, and you still keep going. Well, your alarm, your receptors are turned off. You focus on whatever task you have at hand. And sometimes, you know, that's from a physical standpoint, that could be a direct link to, you know, having too much testosterone and you unnaturally.
We have two questions. I'm gonna leave the best one for last. Let me put this one.
Okay.
Does T levels increase or decrease? Increase, decrease, or do they stay the same while on a long streak of not ejaculating? Oh, of course, they increase. Come on now.
Yes,
we already know that. They increase, absolutely. That's the whole premise of the show, so that
you can increase it,
right,
pull it back in your body so it can benefit you.
Yes. If you want your T levels to increase, you retain that semen. Yeah, absolutely. Now, as I said earlier about the threshold, when I talked about the threshold or breaking through or the barrier, there is a threshold also when you will start feeling the increase of the testosterone. It's not like once you start retaining, automatically you wake up in the morning and you get the boner, or you become agile, or the fat begins to go off your body. No, there is a threshold. You got to continue to practice it. You got to continue to retain it. And then you got to nurture, that is clean diet, exercise, good sleep, good amount of sleep.
Good sleep.
Yeah.
Try to get to REM sleep.
Yeah, to REM level sleep. And then you will...
Even frequent naps throughout the day, a 15-minute nap.
Correct.
Your body amazing.
Yeah, I've done that before. I don't do that right now because I sleep enough. And once I'm up. Like there's nothing in my body towards laying down, or no tiredness. Even when I work out, even after workout, there's no. Yeah, it's like
that's the blood flow. That's the drive in you.
So, but in my life, I have practiced a few naps throughout the day type of practice, and that helps. So yes, the answer is a resounding yes.
Yes.
The longer the streak, the higher the levels of testosterone. Yes. Here is the best question from Wave TV. Brothers, do y'all think marijuana smoking can lower testosterone?
I would think that being that marijuana is a natural smoke, I think in moderation it may do some damage, but not nearly as much as one may think. I've been told by some of my friends who partake in it that when they do it, they got to find a woman because it's like a Viagra to them. So each one is going to react a little differently to the smoke. If you feel as if it is taken from you, well, you got to switch your game up. You know, you got to limit what you do.
Right.
Or, just do it.
I like to say, become the scientist of your life.
Exactly.
Conduct research, evaluate the findings, come up with hypotheses, run the experiments, correct your findings. You have to become the researcher in your life. You have to use your own body. Now, my earlier experience with marijuana, because I documented those experiences, have caused me to stop. Now, I've been planning on experimenting again because I'm in a different space. Yes. I'm in a different state of mind, lifestyle, knowledge is different. Of course, I'm no longer on porn, on semen retention. I know, contrary to popular belief, guys pull up on me and tell me and asking me for the gas because I like to say, man, you know, I've been discriminated against as a joke. I'm like, yo, you guys are, because I look the way I look, I have locks and I have an accent. Yeah, man. I'm black. And guys, especially when I moved to Georgia, it happened. I mean, it happens constantly. Guys pull up on me, telling me they either got that good stuff or they're asking me where they can get that good stuff. And I'll say, well, you wouldn't believe that I've only done that 6 times and they were experimental. It was out of college. I did a paper on it. I couldn't find anything wrong. My research was basically, I mean, it was like, oh my God, I mean, should I write this paper? Should I change my topic? Because I couldn't find any negative opposite view on it. Here I am presenting a paper with nothing but
positive. The only negative is that it frees a man's mind and let him think freely, I think.
So I said, I gotta try this thing, man. I tried.
How much did you eat that night after trying it?
Oh, that's one of the reasons I stopped. I said, I went home. I was living by myself the last 4 times, and I ate whatever was in the fridge, everything, and I still got up and went to Kroger. Kroger used to open 24/7, and bought some more stuff. And I said, "Oh, nah, this is gonna kill my budget. It's gonna kill my money." But in terms of the psychological effects, some of the psychological effects I actually liked. Yes. But I like to say, besides porn was the only thing that I couldn't control. But anything else in my life I could control. So I said, you know, I'm gonna push this aside and come back to it later on.
Later in life.
Yeah. And I'm getting to that point. So that day's coming. No rushing. Yes, that day's coming. But what I have heard, more than one guy, it's an aphrodisiac for them.
Oh yeah.
It's once they do it, they have to get laid, and some guys mostly like to smoke with a lady, and then some guys use it as a way of getting with a lady. Once they start talking about smoking and she agrees, they know most likely half of the work is done. It's on. And I dated this lady who quit, and she told me that was the reason she quit. She said, anybody I smoked with, I effed. She said, I basically realized that I became a whore in a short period of time, and I had to stop. So she said she stopped because she realized every man she smoked with, I mean, she lost control. It wasn't about, she couldn't control herself, and she had to give it up. And so based on those things I've heard, I don't know if that would mean that would mean a higher level of testosterone now.
Yeah, I think doing it in moderation will keep it to that level. That's when you abuse it, then that's when it begins to have negative effects on you, I think. Like you do it.
Like everything else.
Wake up doing it, lunchtime doing it, even time doing it, before you go to sleep doing it, bathroom break doing it. That's overkill, right?
Yeah, that's just like everything else.
Exactly.
But the problem, one of the core issues with the human condition is that we cannot find a balance. It's hard to find a balance. It's hard. Excuse me. Moderation is something that the majority of people struggle with.
Well, if you don't find a balance, you'll get balanced. I think nature has a way, or this world has a way to showing you who's boss. we think we're in the driver's seat, but we're not. We're being pulled and turned and pushed in whatever direction. And when we try to fight it, we begin to suffer. So, it's good to kind of go with the flow of life. Not to say go with the flow of a mob or anything, but go with the flow of life. And, find your balance.
It's hard to find balance, but the areas that I have found balance in my life, which at this point is more than, it's the majority than the minority. The majority of areas in my life are balanced. It's an incredible life.
Yeah, once you balance it, it's almost like, then all of a sudden, hey, I got my balance. Oh, wow, I'm balanced now.
Yeah.
But until you get balanced, you're going to be on rocky ground.
Yeah. So it's hard to eat one piece out of the cake and not the whole cake.
Well, when you understand what went to make the cake, when you see a cake being made, so let's just say hypothetically, you and I right here, and we're in this woman's kitchen, and she's making a cake, and we see 3 cups of sugar go into that cake. And you gotta be like, wait a minute, David. Now, by the time this cake gets cooked and we eat it, hey man, about a slice by 2 inches by 2 inches is enough, because that's only gonna give us 0.5 grams of sugar. And we gotta think like that, because if we don't, and we say, well, I just want this big slice, but hey dog, that's 3 grams right there. That's 4 grams. So we keep doing that, then we're not balanced at all. If we take a little slice on Monday, take a little slice on Wednesday, take a little slice on Friday, throw it out on Saturday.
Yeah. Man, thank you, the Ray Vicious for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. It's good to see you. Now, you just said something very important. It's one of my practices, so I want to say something about that. I don't know if I've told you, but one of my practices is I would buy whatever size comes of a meal or drink, or even now they have a little small ice cream things like Haagen-Dazs.
Yes,
you can buy a little small thing. I don't have to buy the whole pint, eat a little bit and then trash the rest. But I'm comfortable with doing that now. Like it's embedded in my system. I can buy a whole shake only to take 2 straw slips. I don't know if that's how you call it, but only to go and then trash the rest.
That's a good practice, but I think let's try to wing ourselves all together.
Then
that's, if we spend $1 on that shake, then we only took 2 slips. So do that every day. That's $365 that you
chew that.
So let's just try to say, hey, maybe once a week I'll buy it and drink the whole thing. Here's a question for you. I want you to read it. Does the brother on the right have a channel?
Yes.
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, then they need to ask another question. Send another question. What would be a follow-up question to the answer?
Anytime my brother David requests me, I will be here. So
why? I think a follow-up question is why not? Of course, the people would love to hear from you. I mean, absolutely. Let's just put that out there. You have so much knowledge, from training to nutrition. I mean, this whole discussion, people would benefit greatly. We're just going to put that out there. Well, I'm going to put it out there live because I've already been putting out there. But yes, brother, you see that he would like to go and subscribe to your channel.
Well,
but let's say that's coming.
In the future, brother.
Yeah, let's say that's coming at the right time. For now, he's been very essential in moving this new work forward in terms of being on the show himself, making me in contact with guys who have valuable insights, such as Harvey and the young man who's coming. And I still have 2 other guys that you gave me contact with that I have not contacted. And they're lined up. And I have a best buddy that I met when I moved to Georgia. He's in McDonough. I was talking to him this weekend. I said, I'm already booked for October. I said, I'd love to bring you on, because when I first moved here, I told them I moved here to come and take mine and shake things and do things. Yeah, and I said, I need to bring you on. I need to bring you on. He has a family. He has a beautiful relationship. He has a stable relationship with his family. Yes, and I'd like to get some, to get to understand what goes into maintaining that solid family and himself as an educator and whatnot. And I said, I'm booked for October and all the way to some part of December. So
we have to make room to get the man on,
Yeah, we will do that. Yeah. So boss at home, what you talking about? I was thinking since every time you ejaculate, you release 300 to 400 million sperms, then that would mean we have about 300 to 400 million unborn baby spirits in our bodies. What do you say?
Well, I think, boss, our bodies are gateways. I think the spirits may be waiting outside a different realm, and when as a conveyor belt, hey man, let's go. He about to kill. Let's go. Get in the car. Let's go. So maybe that's how it works. I'm not sure, but it's definitely one to think about, boss.
Yeah. So definitely something to think about. If it's worth thinking about for you. But I'll tell you right now, I'll keep your mind on semen retention. Yeah, keep your mind on holding that power so that you can continue posting those videos and grow your channel. So keep your mind on that. So guys, 13 guys, I appreciate you for being here. Rock King, the personal trainer, the nutritionist, the poet.
It's been a pleasure, King.
Do you have one or two poems that you can recite for us? For the guys, bless the guy. Check your phone. You are on the right path. You are on the right journey.
It was
the journey of self.
It was the one that the one that you was going to use.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I wrote that one time.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and read it.
Okay. A journey to complete he that has acknowledged a type of deficiency in his psychic. The struggle is mental, which harms the physical. A harmonious flow of energy becomes disrupted, which throws off one's rhythm. So the frequency never gets turned on. Suffering is sure to arrive. One must become aware of the situation, see where change is needed, make the change, then tune into a harmonious frequency, one intended from the universal creator.
Wonderful. Thank you. That summarizes almost everything that we talked about.
Yes.
Just elaborate a little bit on it for us.
A journey. You got to know something's not right with this journey, because your psychic is if your psychic is off, then your mental is sure to be off. So if your psychic and mental is off, there's nothing flowing harmonious through you. So you kind of like just going through the motions of life, like a bag being thrown from car to truck to blown wherever. Suffering is sure to arrive. You must become aware of the situation. Change is needed to make that change. And once you made that change, then you become substance in a bag. If we use that same scenario of the bag, then the bag then become weighted, so then it has value. It's not going to be blowing everywhere. It's going to go where it needs to go. So that's important. But if you don't realize that there's a deficiency, you won't know it. Normally, a woman comes into a man's life and she begins to help him. She helps him help her help him.
I understand.
And that's a dance of consciousness right there. And that dance then creates an offspring that then creates with another dance, and that maybe that's that rhythm of life that we all came from, that thrives humanity. It drives, it builds humanity, because the minute that stops, then the human race cease.
Yeah. I remember when you text me this piece of work, and I was like, I mean, how do you just come up with something like that? I think it was about 30 seconds or 60.
It was about a minute. It was actually about a minute or two. It's just, I have things that's waiting outside my door.
Consciousness.
Yeah. Subconsciously, things are waiting for me to come in. So you just tune into it and open the door. Okay, here you come. I need something else. Okay, through that door, through this window. It shall arrive. But you got to perceive it.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Thank you for all your wisdom. Guys, thank you for being on. I like to say you are on the right journey. If you are on the journey of building yourself, loving yourself, you are on the right journey. And you definitely are on the right path.
Yes.
If you are on semen retention and sex energy transmutation. I was once addicted to pornography and masturbation for 23 years, starting in the age of, it must have been 13. I've done the work, and I've been back to share what I've learned, the insights. And also, I want to find men like The Rock and Harvey in the chat to bring on to share their own findings on this journey of masculine excellence.
Yeah, man.
So if you find yourself here and you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. If you need one-on-one attention, a little help, a little understanding, check Patreon or check my email and email me. If you just want one session, we can talk, and I can definitely give you a little bit of guidance to help you move forward on your journey. My work here is primarily and predominantly free, but if you want some guidance, hey, so therefore I don't talk a lot about coaching. You decide. But thank you for everybody who's been here. Thank you for that super chat, my brother. I saw it. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you again sometime this week. Man, we got to keep doing this work. Men get better with age. Men get better with semen retention. Men get better with sexual discipline. Stay on that journey.
Yes.
Tell us some words, last words.
Last words, stay humble, stay positive, stay focused on the prize. And the prize is your life. Enjoy it.
You're going to drop that at the end. Great.
Yes, brother.
Awesome. You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery. The journey of self-love. The journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey. Stay on this journey. You are king. Stay in your kingdom. Until next time, guys. Namaste.
Respect.
You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery. The journey of self-love. The journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey.